Make no mistake about it, and many of my subscribers will know that I am a person that believes that the powers that be will place things in certain forms of media to let us know what they have prepared for the future, or what the powers that be are planning for the future. Subliminal messaging and predictive programming is placed heavily in movies, TV shows, music videos, and even video games. But many people, not just conspiracy theorists or those who believe in conspiracy theories, know that there's one form of media that keeps predicting future events, and it happens to be the TV series The Simpsons. You will be hard-pressed to find anybody that will fight you on the fact or call you crazy if you were to tell them that The Simpsons are showing us events that will take place in the future, that there is something not right about The Simpsons. But for those that know that the creators of The Simpsons are high-level Freemasons. They even made an episode where Homer joins the Freemasons, and if you listen closely to that song, they are telling you everything that they are the architects of. So this is not predictions that we are seeing being played out in The Simpsons. This, again, is them telling you, the architects telling you what is going to take place. So this turns my attention to an episode of The Simpsons, season 35, episode 7. And I have to say, I'm really surprised The Simpsons have been running this long, but then again, I'm not, given the fact of who the creators are and what organization they are in. I really don't know anybody today that sits down and watches The Simpsons. The Simpsons, to me anyway, have stopped being funny for a long time. Now, this episode of The Simpsons oddly ran across my shorts feed, and I call it odd because an episode of The Simpsons has never crossed my shorts feed before. But the title of this short happens to be Descendants of The Simpsons, and it has to do with Thanksgiving in the future, 60 years from now. The Simpsons, they're sitting around the table, they're about to have Thanksgiving when Lisa's granddaughter asked her this, and this was Lisa's reply.
All right, everyone, get out your remembrance candles. Granny Lisa, why do we light a candle every Thanksgiving? In remembrance of the great blackout, when we actually had to write things down by hand.
Remembrance of the great blackout where they had to write things down by hand. Now, in any other circumstance, this would not seem eerie or very suspicious, but given the fact that this is, again, coming from The Simpsons, where you have news articles dedicated to counting how many things the Simpsons has eerily predicted, then this is something that we need to pay attention to. Now, anytime we have a Simpsons episode where they show us the Simpsons in the future, more times than not, what they are showing us comes to pass. Like, for example, season 11, episode 17, Bart to the Future. This episode was released on March 19th, 2000. This episode also once again has Lisa saying something that eerily came true. In this episode, Lisa says, "We inherited quite the budget crunch from President Trump." Now again, this was back in 2000. People had noticed that Lisa Simpson, who is president in this episode, is also dressed eerily similar to Kamala Harris. The only difference really is that Lisa is wearing a gray turtleneck. But if you go to the article by HollywoodReporter.com, an article that is titled, "These Simpsons 34 Times the Fox Comedy Successfully Predicted the Future," and I believe it's more than 34 times, but this article will really show you how much The Simpsons really do know when it comes to future events. And again, it's not a prediction. When you know who the creators, the writers of The Simpsons are, high-level Freemasons, the architects of these events. No different than Barack Obama's scripted movie, Leave the World Behind, which also has to do with a blackout. Now, I also did a pretty lengthy breakdown of that movie, and if you notice, a lot of events that took place in that movie also came true not too long after that movie was released to Netflix. So what is this great blackout that they're talking about, not just in The Simpsons, but also Leave the World Behind and other movies and TV shows, even video games, that have some heavy subliminal messaging? We do know that something big is coming because billionaires are buying underground bunkers like crazy. They are preparing for a doomsday scenario. Matter of fact, one of the theories that are laid out by media is that we could see a digital apocalypse. We even had the leader, or the former leader, of the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, come out and say that a digital mishap would be worse than the C-19. Who really knows what they are preparing with CrowdStrike? We already saw them flex their power in showing us that they can take down any Windows application at any time. They had shown us that they can bring down multiple computers around the world simultaneously, no matter if it's an airport, a grocery store, a gas station, a pharmacy store, does not matter. They can bring them down. The powers that be, they can bring down the grid for a couple months, cause complete hell on earth, complete chaos. Then they can flick it back on, bring the grid back up after chaos has ensued, and then they can go ahead and blame it on a foreign country. Say this foreign country hacked the grid and we have to take out this foreign country. Well, a great blackout would lead to a Remembrance Day, because I don't know anybody that would forget such an event. We're not talking about the grid shutting down and we go back to the 90s or the 80s. No, we would go back to the Stone Ages. Because if you are not prepared, if you are not stocked up for such an event, we are talking about being knocked back to even before the Middle Ages, because everything we do today relies on the grid, relies on technology. We don't know if the grid going down, there being a great blackout, being an event that really does play out in the future, like The Simpsons is showing us here, a TV series once again that has eerily foretold future events, many events. But this is something that's constantly shown to us in repetition in different forms of media and has been theorized by the government. This doesn't even have to be a hack. It could be a solar flare that they are aware of that's coming that could bring down the grid. Another Carrington event that we keep hearing about, but it literally could be anything that they could use to bring down the grid to cause chaos on Earth, a great reset. Again, something has to be coming for all these billionaires to buy these underground bunkers, some with even defense systems. So yeah, is the Simpsons making another quote-unquote accurate prediction when it comes to this great blackout that will be taking place? I do want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. In any case, thank you so much for watching. If you like this channel and you want to see more, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please like, as any engagement does help the channel grow. Once again, thank you so much for your support.